Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Marilena Tarantino from POLI.design, and today I will be moderating the presentation of the Specializing Master in Design for Architecture. Please feel free to use the chat box to submit any questions you have, which we will address in the second part of the session. Now, let me introduce the speaker, Matteo Ingaramo. I leave the floor to the professor.
Hello, thank you. I am Matteo Ingaramo. I am the scientific director of the course. I am a professor in design of the School of Design at Politecnico di Milano, and I am an architect. And I was running my experience in a continuous merging between architecture and design. So that's why, since a long time, we decided to run a design program that was mainly for architects and or for designers that would like to dedicate their professional life to architectural issues. Design for architecture it was born because of that, and it's dedicated to the application of the design culture, what was called industrial design culture, at least in Italy, to architecture. Architecture is made of parts. Architecture is made of time of realization. Architecture is becoming every day more temporary process of valuing buildings that are making part of a broader system of value with a brand and with a market proposal that is attracting the user, the clients, to leave the spaces. So of course it's necessary to have more culture about an architecture that of course is creating environments and decorating buildings and interiors, but having a perspective that is more related to a product strategy with a development of solutions that are related to technology, to assembly and disassembly, and to the time and the processes of industry. Of course, we are in a kind of real estate industry here, and this master will be focused on architectural manufacts that are temporary, made of parts, and fully contextualized in a value process with brands and expectations in terms of business and transferring of quality reproducible. The goals that we have in this program are to combine the multidisciplinary competencies that are coming from typically different curricula. Design itself has its own, let's say, knowledge structure already. It's becoming an identified field respect to architecture. Architecture has a very traditional culture that is very structured. So we tried to identify the common points and to put them in relationship with the involvements of cultural contributors and scientific contributors that are coming from our university, our design department, and the professors coming from engineering and architectural knowledge here in Politecnico, but also involving what we call companies or institutions in general. So what is surrounding the university knowledge, that will be the reference for the professionals when they are out of school, of course. So involving companies is important for us, and delivering to the students briefs that are negotiated with the real world is very, very important. Of course, it's very important also to disfruit the sources of knowledge of Italian architecture and Italian design history that gave us, let's say, the opportunity to create an advanced culture and knowledge that locates us in a ranking that is, for the School of Design, for the School of Architecture, top ranked in the top 10 all around the world in the QS ranking. Finally, as you can see on this chart, develop highly innovative concepts, okay, that are coming not from a real new, okay, but from a new integrated approach that combines the two cultures as much as you can. In this case, you will be probably will a kind of unique type of professionals that have the both experiences and the ability to, let's say, react to the very fast change of architecture since let's say more than 50 years of contemporaneity. The structure of the teaching program is based on the integration, okay, between vocational activities and design studios. We trust a lot on a process that we define learning by doing, running design with professional and academic mentors and tutors that will involve as much as we can real briefs that are coming from companies or professional partners, and to drive our students in a progressive addition of complexity of integration between the industrial design culture and architectural culture to the end of the process that will be represented by the internship process, that for us is not only a way to get in touch with the professional world and to get a job, maybe, why not, but of course it's important that our students consider that the last step or the last opportunity to be students in a postgraduate master like this one and get the final experience without, let's say, no problems in making errors, why not, and to reset your approach to your design methodology and design practice. This master is trying to offer a multicultural environment, okay, to enhance the understanding of global issues that are referred, of course, to this change, very, very fast change, and the variation of design approaches that we have if you are coming from India, if you are coming from Turkey, if you are coming from South America, or Europe, or China, maybe. Okay, architecture and design, they are seen under different perspective, and it's very important that we try to mix and we try to exchange those approaches, getting to a final, let's say, understanding that will be unique, each one of you, if it happens, trying to run your own design with a strong positive contamination coming from different subjects and different nations and cultures. Yes, the teaching process will be in person. It's very important for us that we meet our students in class and we have all the, let's say, teaching experience in person that we can have. The teaching modules are under four main topics. Okay. Design culture, in order to, let's say, refresh the one that are designers, but to let's say to initiate architects into the design, industrial design perspective, and to have a common vision that is coming from a multicultural access to this master that, as I was saying, is dedicated to architectural professionals that are coming from both careers, architects and designers that are dealing with interior and design of parts of components of architecture. Second point, design strategy. We would like to be very clear that a design approach to architecture passes through, okay, the filter of an understanding of a value creation that is not only based by the architectural manufacture, but is making part of a more complex process in which maybe the layout or the architecture are just one element, and sometimes it's even more important to have an understanding about the communicative content of your design than having a good-looking building manufacture. So it's an opening up of your point of view, considering a broader range of reference, cultural and knowledge reference that should boost your ability to be designer for clients that are expecting you to understand their point of view and being, let's say, satisfied all the expectations that are coming about marketing or brand identity or valorization of aspects that are not strictly related to real estate or to building construction. Design technology, it's an extended range of knowledge that will let you be more expert in design of parts, in treating facades, in creating temporary or, let's say, semi-temporary elements for decoration that are functionally respecting requirements that are more related to the staying of the company, maybe, that is occupying a building, or even an institution that is that wants to refresh or to change the location, refresh the layout and the environment perception, or to change the location in a let's say middle term time of staying. So 3 years or 5, okay? So the buildings are not anymore, let's say, eternal in the majority of them. So that's why we try to focus more on that than, or let's say, even monumental or Italian architecture that are involving, of course, technical knowledge, but of another kind. Design seminars and studios are there in order to our students keep in touch with the real world and to run experiences, okay, to have experiences in class about designing and having an external partner that is briefing us and involving us in the simulation of a professional activity, of course, and seminars that are putting you in touch with architects and designers that are coming out from the school and they are running their own business, or they are eminent and famous architects that are giving to us experiences of any kind that could let's say make more clear what is delivered to you under the first, second, or third block of modules. Professional outcomes are quite clear. Okay, you could, okay, be more able to front the great challenges of the ever-changing design and building sector, as I was saying at the beginning of this presentation, and but even more being able to design solutions that are advanced enough to create innovation, combining, okay, the culture of industrial design and architecture, and not only really inventing stuff, but getting a new, let's say, understanding, a new appreciation, okay, of solutions that are coming from the combination and integration of elements. That's one of the secrets of design, okay, to make new something without making really not something new, but combining it in a way that it will be new as a perception and as a disfruitment by users. Why to choose this master? We strongly feel that the combination of these two cultures is making our students able to be a kind of unique professional, able to work at a global scale, to be open for the absorption of and being contaminated by different disciplines, And why not? This is a school that is prestigious because of the polytechnical knowledge that in the field of design and architecture is very, very well ranked. Because we are in Milan, because Milan is a way to understand architecture, to understand design as a phenomenon, a cultural phenomenon, and because it's one of the hub of the design profession. And of course, it could happen that here we have a continuous, let's say, refreshment and adaptation of our design methodology that we are trying to offer to our students. And why not, as I like to say to my students, that they are Italian designer if they don't, even if they do not have an Italian passport, and that's that's something that we proudly tell to our partners all over the world, that Italian designers are much more than the Italian designer with an Italian nationality. We are making part of a continuous refreshing European approach to architecture. We are very strongly opened to internationalizing us. In the last year, 98% of our students were coming from all over the world. Why not? You could choose it because we wanted to meet and to merge different perspectives, different professional approaches, and different kind of knowledge that could enlarge your point of view, not only in terms of profession, but also in terms of human bettering. Why not? We always disfrutte that every year, and we learn from our students as much as we can. I think that's all for me. From my side, I would like to leave the floor for all the informations that are needed for your applying and admission.
Thank you, Professor, for
Thank
the
you.
presentation. I'll take the floor again to provide more details about the application process for the next edition of Design for Architecture, which will begin in November 2025. On the Specializing Master webpage on the POLI.design website, you will find the full list of required materials for the selection phase. By clicking on the Apply button, you will be able to create your personal account and upload the necessary files. The application will be then completed on the Politecnico di Milano website by uploading the documents related to your academic qualifications. If you need assistance during this phase, you can book a call by scanning the QR code. So there are then two main steps to follow. The first one is the selection step, which must be completed no later than 60 days before the course starting date. And then there is the step 2, that is the enrollment step, to be completed within 45 days. Please note that the applications are processed in chronological order and spots are limited, so don't wait for the last minute. Additionally, by uploading your documents, you will already be eligible to attend the next recruiting phase from June 2nd to June 6th. You can find in this slide the list of the fee of the master, and along with our promotional policy designed specifically for this program, an initiative to support the design potential of those who choose Poly.design. In particular, I would like to highlight the back to school promo dedicated to Politecnico di Milano students. Now we can move to the Q&A session. I'll start reading the questions that we received. So the first one is, what are you expecting to see in the portfolio? Which is more valued, commercial, realized project, or personal creative works?
I'm not sure that I have a clear idea about what do you mean with commercial, but it's important if it's a personal design that was not under any commitment, maybe not, is not that interesting. We would like you to see what happened if you were asked to design under a brief that was a school brief, why not, or under a professional brief. It means that you had a committer, a client that made you made you design it, even if it's a concept, okay, it was not realized, it is acceptable, of course, as the majority of the portfolio that are made by students that are not still in the profession. Okay, but please don't add. Even if you participate to a competition, why not? That's a personal design that is more than acceptable. Even if you were not winning, it gives us a good, let's say, understanding about your personal abilities.
So another one, are there company visit or some visit during the master?
Yeah, there are some of them that are planned depending on the program that every year has different, let's say, reference in terms of topics, but also in terms of approaches, depending on the company or the entity in general or institution that is giving to us the brief. There are some of them that are visits that are making you understand what's the, let's say, general mood of this architectural and design culture in Milan, and not only. Of course, you will make a kind of, let's say, path, okay, touching some elements that are that were and are contaminating or adding culture and knowledge to the field of design and architecture here in Milan.
Another one, are students' project incentivized to enter design competitions?
Always. Participating to design competition is important, but remember that if we have a partner, that partner could ask to make an option on your ideas in order to there is an exchange of commitments. The company is giving to us a brief. Maybe they would like to disfruit your ideas in order to make it possible and to realize them. So in this case, it will be not possible for you to use it again because it's not anymore original, okay, for a competition. But in all other cases, our students are more than welcome to go for competition. We are sometimes involving the students in extra activities that are in parallel with the class activities at school, that in which the mentors are maybe the same members of the faculty or others that are asking you to participate.
Thank you. One last question. Is there a master thesis project? And if there is, what is commonly the area of focus, or is free for students to choose it?
The normal conclusion of the master is the internship. Okay, is a activity that of time that you spend in the company. The final exam will be held on a kind of student journey presentation that will make clear which was your experience during all the master. Okay. It's not asked the final thesis work. It could be that some students could ask to not make the internship and instead of it having an interesting project that should be at least related to a real situation, professional commitment or a company brief that you get by your own, okay, and you ask to work on without staying into the company, but asking the faculty to mentor you. That could be, it's called a professionalizing project. That is a final alternative to the internship. Those are special cases that are under the choice of the faculty to be accepted because of the, let's say, peculiarity of the choice. But it could be. But there will be not a final thesis, but that could be the final work or the internship with the student journey.
Thank you. One student is writing, I have a first degree in set design for film theater. How well does this program build on such a background, especially if it was obtained in a different academic context?
There are some admission rules that you have to check with our offices about the equivalency of your title to be admitted in a university level specializing master. So that's something that you have to check with our offices. In general, let's say university titles and diplomas that are equivalent, they do not have any problem. There are some programs that are not clear to the system of Politecnico that gives the certification of equivalence, okay, to the diplomas that you just have to check. European university programs are all accepted. Normally in the US and South America they are, but we have to check. Okay. About the topics, okay, of your diploma that are more focused on theater scenography and set. We have to check your portfolio and your list of exams that you have at your school, and to have an interview. And of course, it will be a test of admission that you have some questions and you have to answer. We ask to our students that are participating to make this remote, is made from remote exam, and then if it's necessary, a consequent interview. So it's possible that you are admitted according to these conditions. Feel that you have some gaps respect to the main, let's say, origin of the attending, that are diplomas of design at university, interior design or product design or strategic design, and architectural diploma. Of course, that's a kind of peculiarity, but I feel that under those conditions you could be admitted.
Thank you. Last one is, which programs software will be used during the program?
We don't ask the students to use a software, okay, but we would like them to be able to represent clearly their design. So the students that are coming from design field, some of them are using AutoCAD and all the suites that are related to it, or Rhinoceros or other programs that they would like to use for designing that is not only based on layout and walls, and other systems that are including construction features. Architects are allowed to use AutoCAD or similar programs depending on the quality of this. The picture that you have on now, it's one of the design of our students. It was made for an America's Cup base during the Italian campaign of the America's Cup, and that was made with Rhinoceros and coming from the AutoCAD layout. So it's up to you. We don't force our students to use any software, but to be able to represent clearly and technically consistent to the technical rules, of course.
Okay, we don't have any other questions, so I would like to thank you, the Professor Ingaramo, for the presentation, and see you tomorrow for the other presentations.
Thank you very much.